All right, welcome everyone. Sorry for the delay. I really need to figure out how to put intro music. I know it's shameful at this time. It's just horrible, but at least you get a cool wallpaper. This is what flamenco taught me. Best $3 I have ever spent. Again, a lot of people keep asking me, like I don't know why, but I keep telling them it's on Steam. It's called Wallpaper Engine. And trust me when I say this, it's the best $3 you've ever spent. So if you're a streamer, or even if you're not, you can get this app and you can just have access to tens of thousands of wallpapers. Really cool. I need to be careful though, because some of them have la gente and I can get into trouble. So I got some good news, by the way. A lot of people keep asking me, start a Discord server, start a Discord server. In fact, there is a Discord server called the V Refugees, I think, Refugees or something. And I think by this time tomorrow, it might be done. So I gotta do some rules now. There's going to be rules. It's not something that I choose. It's what Discord forces me to. And we're going to have a fun server. The rules are going to be no bigotrismus, no homophobismus, terms of service, that type of thing. Apparently, misinformation is something that Discord doesn't want you to push on your server. Now, I don't know what misinformation is. I assume it's regarding the holy election in the United States, as well as Pfizer's financial and political interests must not be challenged. So, people who join will have to just use their brains. Plot twist though, if you're on voice, like if you're talking with other people on Ventrilo, I don't think you can get banned. So yeah, just talk to people with your voice. It encourages communication, human interaction. It's a good thing. So if you really must say something that's problematic, do it on voice, because I don't think they can monitor that. I mean, how can they, right? So take into account that someone can still record you and get you fired. Like, that's a bonus. But that's a bonus even outside of Discord. So it is what it is. Why would I go to bed, dude? It's what is it, 9 p.m.? I get it. It's a meme, but like, oh, God. I don't understand why people keep sending streamers to bed. Like, we don't gotta wake up in the morning. We're not like normal people. We're a little bit weird. Yes, the 2016 one isn't the holy election, right? That's the unholy election. The recent one is the holy one. So Abdi Muhammad, what is the server up? The server is up, but you don't know about it. It's going to be public tomorrow, probably. I'm going to make a video about it. So yes, they can't monitor your voice yet. I think PlayStation monitors your voice. I mean, that was creepy as fuck when they said it. But apparently, like on PlayStation, if you're voice chatting with your friends, or if you're chatting with Mumi and Daddy, they're actually having AI and they're recording your conversation. Now, they claim they're not stocking that anywhere. Sure, of course. I mean, I trust Sony completely. And if you do homophobismus when you're talking, you can get in trouble. Like, you can lose your PlayStation account. I don't even know what that means. Like, if you have PlayStation games and you lose the account, does that mean, like, you can't play online? You can't voice chat? Or, like, do you lose your entire game library? Because that would be weird, like, if you lose your entire game library. I think it's actually illegal for them to do this in Europe. Hold on, my phone just... my internet on my phone just died, so I'll have to restart it. Oh, there we go. It's restarted. Tomorrow my time, not the United States time. So tomorrow around this hour. Like usually when I release my video, it's going to be up. And there's going to be rules, yes. What is homophobismus? Honestly, I think at this point it's just saying gamer words. That's it. Because I have to think about it. Yeah, like accusations of homophobismus are very rare. Unless you say the gamer word. That's pretty much it. That like anything else goes, right? But just that. Yes, the phone is about to cancel me. It probably heard, like the CIA probably heard what I'm saying. The FBI is knocking at my door. Even here in Romania, the FBI is ever reaching. So, yes, let me go on Discord for a second because I want to see something. Is Howitzer in here? Like, I invited the friend. I made the friend. Holy shit, I made the friend. Can you guys believe that? Howitzer, are you in here? Tell me if you are. But anyway, right. Let's talk about the news. There are some interesting events. So, did you guys follow Pippa last night? Did you follow Pippa? I told a lot of people to start watching VTubers, and I recommended Pippa, you know? And many people, he is right there. All right, I'll give you a mod. There you go. You get a wrench. Because I don't have that many friends, you know? And when I make a friend, like outside, like I have a human connection, I need to cherish it. I need to bribe you into returning. So, here we go. Here we go. All right. Now, I need to do a great wrench reset after this. Take away all of your powers. So, as I was saying, I introduced people to VTubers. And one of the VTubers I introduced is Pippa. To which many people have given me messages, even super chats, like, thank you for introducing me to this YouTuber V. It's really great. Having a lot of fun. She's very funny. She's entertaining me. And today she posts something and a lot of people are V. What the fuck? So what did she post? Well, she posted this. She said, I had a long bump in my mouth and was in a lot of pain. But I poked it with a needle, and I think I saved myself a dental visit. It's been a month and I kept my mouth shut because I knew you guys would say go to the dentist, and now you're saying go to the dentist, and I just can't fucking win. Go to the fucking dentist, Pippa! I know you're probably listening to this, but the reason I'm bringing it up is that if you go to her post, like, she seems a little bit concerned about this, and the reason she's concerned is due to the fact, like, deep inside, she knows she has to go to the fucking dentist. But she just can't put herself up to it. So I guess, like, what she hopes is that she can talk this with the internet, and the internet will say, nah, it's fine. It's not fine, alright? Like, that's how you get meningitis if you want to live dangerously. It starts from a tooth infection, it can go up the trigeminal nerve, and it can go to your the thing that envelops your brain. And you get meningitis. Now, the funny thing is that someone said that an abscess is a medical emergency, which is. It is. It's correct. And she said, like, maybe it's not an abscess. And, like, look, option B is a tumor. That's how you do the differential diagnosis. So, yeah, she needs to be pressured to go to the dentist. It's not good. Abscess is not good. And if you don't want to go to the dentist, then you need to hold mouth water. The one that has alcohol in it, like, hold it in that spot so at least the infection doesn't spread. But at this time, I think it's already spread, so it is what it is. You don't have to be a doctor to know this. It's, like, an infection is a bad sign. Now here's the thing. This is true with any type of abscess. Now that you're here, I can give you a little bit of a lecture. They're true with a lot of abscesses. Like, usually, and this happens when you grow older, like over the age of 30, you're going to have, like, a lump on your skin that just starts swelling, you know? I'm pretty sure, like, most of you over 30 already got this, and it becomes very painful. Now, there's two ways to get rid of it. The first way is to just wait, and then it pops. So you'll have, like, this big lump on your back, or on your leg, or whatever. Like, I've seen people get even, around their belly. It's very painful, right? But eventually, like, it pops. But it's very dangerous as well. Like, you shouldn't take it as a joke, because there's many possibilities. Number one, it can press against a nerve, and it's going to be very bad if that happens. Number two, it can actually drain inwards, and then it presses on the things surrounding it. So, like, if you have it on your spine, it can press on the spinal column. And it can also cause other problems. Like, you can start getting a fever. You can get very sick. So just because you have, like, something, don't go, oh, well, I'm not going to go to a doctor because eventually it's going to fix itself. I mean, yes, it can, but it can also be bad. So do go to the doctor if you have it. But the second thing is that if it pops, chances are you're going to get another one in the same place. Like exactly where the first one, like 1 year, 2 years in the future, exactly there you're going to get another. And if you went to a surgeon when they do the surgical incision, it's like more like a line. So even when the scarring tissue happens, like the next time you get it, it's a lot easier for it to go on the outside, and you don't have to go to the doctor again. But if you popped it, usually like the incision is like a tiny needle. The scar tissue is going to cover that, and it's going to prevent the next one when it builds up from going out. So just go to a doctor. It's not hard. It only takes like 5 minutes, and they will fix you up. Probably doesn't even cost that much, because they don't have to use... I mean, they use local anesthesia, right? They don't use anything complicated. They don't put you to sleep. It's just go to the doctor. Go to the hospital. Go to the hospital. Yes, go to the hospital. You no longer respect doctors. Well, I don't know. It's gross. Well, so what if it's gross? It has to be done. It's kind of annoying, you know. I finally find a comedian that entertains me, and now they're having medical problems. It's like, no. I know I don't have much luck in my life, but like, no. God will not take her away from me. She will sit at her computer being stinky and entertain me. At least for another year. I just, no. I want her to get complications. Anyway, I wonder what Pipa's alternative account is. It's, yes, exactly, Feetlover69. That's Pipa's alternative account. Alright. I'm not going to do medical lectures. Especially not during this time and age. If I start doing any medical lectures, I'm going to get in big trouble. Okay. I even like, fun fact, I used to make videos explaining how vaccines work, right? This was... before all of this, I think it was 5 years ago, and I made very beautiful, very interesting videos, and then YouTube starts, you know, like, making sure that misinformation isn't being spread, and they flag my videos. Now, my videos weren't to do with anything like the pandemic. They weren't even incorrect, because eventually I appealed and I won. But still, you know, like the bots on YouTube, they don't differentiate, they don't understand context, they don't understand metaphors or sarcasm, so it's best just to keep the fuck away. Alright, hold on, let's read the chat. Pipa used to live in far worse conditions. She does remind me of myself when I started. Like, when I started YouTube, I used to live in a one-room apartment with bed bugs and a microphone that was worth $2. And when the microphone broke, like let me actually show you. Hold on, let me show you the microphone that I used to have when I first started. So it was something. Yeah. I mean, this is even expensive shit, like what I'm showing you here. I used to have something like this, but it was a lot cheaper. And when it broke, like this thing came out. And it had a wire that was attached and was still holding it into place. And, yeah, I had to use that. And I had to also hold my finger on the base so that it doesn't short circuit. Because it would short circuit and I would record the video and all of a sudden it would go mute. Because I didn't have the money to buy another one. So this is how I started. And if you put the work in, if you put the hours in and you have the charisma... and you're being entertaining, you're going to manage to build up an audience. At least you used to. Now, I don't know, with the algorithm and with all the bells and whistles that are built in. Like, back then, you were able to do it. Now you can't. So, anyway. This is, hold on. Let me just make sure that we got this in full view with no other distractions. These people are from Twitch. I don't know who the fuck they are, except a couple of them that still stream on YouTube. But, alright, so this is clearly made by a left-wing person. Yes, charisma. You need charisma in order to be... Foundations of the revolution. Holy shit, the LARP is strong. Holy crap, the LARP is strong. Yes, the foundations of the revolution. Philosophy Tube, H. Bomber Guy, Vosh, and Folding Ideas. Ushkushi, like mwah tier level. Then you get like Based and Red Pilled. Oh, Shuan Head is Based and Red Pilled. Wasn't she arguing with like the people from the Foundation of the Revolution? How does that work? The Amazing Atheist. I know this guy. I used to watch him. I don't know what he does now, but solid content creators. Demon Mama. Who is Demon Mama? You know what? Like my new friend must know. Where's my new friend? Hold on. Chat. YouTube Filth. YouTube Filth. Who is Demon Mama? Like, come on. You're the lore master. You read the lore. If you read the lore on Pipa, you must know who Demon Mama is. Very annoying. Cat Black. Oof, that's not very progressive, is it? Are the coconuts in the room with us, Mr. Vosh? Oh, I'm going to steal that joke. What do you mean you have no idea? My God. Get informed. Tell me. This is your homework for the next stream. I gave you a wrench. You owe me. But anyway, right, so not leftist. Destiny is not a leftist. I mean, that's a hate crime now. And then you go to right wing and you get to Jimmy Dore. Now, Jimmy Dore is as left as he comes on political issues, like on economic issues. But what I understand now that social issues is far more important for the left than the actual economics. So as long as you say the correct things, as long as you're like, you know, speaking the speech and showing to people that you care, then it doesn't matter. You can be like as hard right wing as you want. You can be like Benito Mussolini, you know, it's fine. Just speak the speech. Right? The economics don't matter. Like, your city can be filled with homeless people, can be a crime haven, you can have massive income disparity, like in California, yeah. But as long as you speak the speech, as long as you say the correct things, then, you're part of the left. You're progressive. You're progressive. Oh, my God. The absolute state of the American left wing, I gotta say. Can people read all of those names? Yes. Why not? I don't know who most of these people are, though. Like, they're Twitchers. I don't understand how all of those, how all of these YouTubers are all lefties. You know, like, the political compass is subjective. So people that are left than you, you're going to consider them leftists, and people who are right to you, you're going to consider them right wing. So if you're Stalin and you're shaking hands with Hitler from the other side of the horseshoe, from your perspective, everyone is right wing, right? Like, from Stalin's perspective, literally everyone else is right wing, and probably from Hitler's perspective, everyone else is left wing. So this is why you get these bizarre lists. Because obviously, like, some of these people don't identify as right-wing. I mean, Jimmy Dore doesn't. Jimmy Dore is left-wing. I mean, I know for sure. I watch his channel. I mean, he is for big taxes, big government, you know, helping the poor and all that shit. Like, whatever. Zeni, thank you for the $5. This tier list is organized by who hurt their feelings the most. Yes. Who disappointed Senpai the most. That is correct. Question for you. Where do you find anarchy in the compass? Left and right. Yeah, well, this is a little bit of a conversation between what right-wing means. Like, if you're talking about right-wing as tradition, in Europe it means monarchy. So in Europe, right-wing would mean, like, totalitarian regime, like authoritarian, like monarchy, the king rules, right? In the United States is the Wild West. So in the United States, right-wing, like extreme right-wing, would probably be anarchy. But anarchy is actually unsustainable. You see this in failed states. The mafia takes over. People form gangs. You get warlords. You don't just have anarchy. Look at the internet. The internet was so beautiful. We had anarchy, and then YouTube came along and made it beautiful and progressive. Holy shit, that would make me right. I would be kissing Vosh's ass on the horseshoe. I'm stealing that. My God, so many good jokes. This is why I live stream. This is why I got you to Filth here, so I can steal his jokes. Authoritarian and anarchy are opposite. Those are supposed to be up and down. Yeah, no, they are. But like I'm telling you, it depends on the geographical position, right? Because in America, if you wind time back, like you go back in time, there used to be the Wild West. But in Europe, if you go back in time, there used to be the rule of kings. Like the king owns everyone, including the subjects. So if you talk about tradition, like what was traditionally, right-wing tradition, conservative, and you go far enough, in America, you're going to end up with the Wild West. So it's kind of like anarchy. I don't know if the Wild West is 100% anarchy, but it is, like you got this village with a sheriff, and you don't even have police officers. But honestly, like that was a good system. You have the sheriff, that there's no police. And if the sheriff wanted to arrest someone, they would form a posse. So the posse were the members of the community. And if the sheriff wanted to arrest someone that the community didn't think they did a bad thing, like the sheriff wanted to abuse his powers or whatever, then the posse would tell the sheriff to fuck off. It's not such a bad system if you think about it. Because then you don't get like all the problems you have in the United States. Like for example, there was recently a case where a teenage girl who happened to be black was about to stab a friend of hers, and the police officer shot her in order to save her friend, and everyone freaked out. And I'm thinking, like, okay, in a posse system that wouldn't have happened. Like in a posse system, the members of that community would have been like, I'm not intervening, like she's a good kid, like let her do her thing. It's just a little misunderstanding, like let them solve it. And then there's no more news. There's no more drama. There's no more, like officer being put on court and trialed and all of that. Like, it saves a lot of hassle. So maybe that is a thing, Maybe that can be a thing. Just have the back ways that people used to do justice. I have a sheriff and he forms a posse. And then, everything is good. Anytime anyone could just shoot you if they caught you committing a crime, the sheriff job wasn't that hard. That is another aspect, yes. But that can happen in the neighborhood as well. Like if you're in a dangerous side of town and you annoy the wrong people, that can also get you shot. So, all right. What should we talk about? I got a couple more interesting news. Oh, this one's interesting. I wanted to do a stream with Comrade Dell. My God, I feel so bad. I feel like I bullied the poor guy. So, he's a VTuber. He's doing this whole vibe of being in a bar during a radioactive winter. He's Russian. And he talked about the rules in Russia regarding VPNs. And I was in his chat, and I thought that it would be funny if I say, oh, you're doing Russian propaganda. Ah, ha, ha, ha. And he actually doesn't understand I'm joking because I'm writing it in text, right? So people don't get the sarcasm when you're typing it. And he's like, he felt, I don't know if I should say insulted, but he felt attacked. And he said like, look, it's not my fault what's going on. I'm just a Russian living in Russia. And I'm like, dude, I didn't want to upset you. God damn it. I just wanted to do banter. Isn't he a friend of Yuri? I found him on her server, yes. Like, I don't know if they're friends or not. They did play video games last night, so I guess they're friends. But I wanted to stream with him because, like, I want to do a collab with someone that I know they're going to understand what the TOS on YouTube are, and maybe we can play a game or some shit. So, I started off on the wrong foot. It's okay. I'll try it again. I'll be like, hey, I saw you played video games. You like video games, don't you? I like video games too. Do you want to play video games together? Yeah. Yeah, I should have worked sarcasm. Thank God. Anyway, right. Now that my schizo moment is over, Let's talk about Brittney Griner, which could spend 5 years in Russian labor camp. Experts say. Well, if the experts say that, it must be true. The U.S. Olympic gold medalist and Wunba champion, Brittney Griner. Is it Griner or Griner? Could face up to 5 years in a Ruski labor camp. Do they still have those, though? Like, I thought they closed them down. Are they reopened now? That is so weird. I have not heard the media talk about these labor camps up until now, you know? So either the camps were closed and now they're reopening, or they were always there and the media ignored it. Which one is it? I have no idea. Anyway. Apparently, Griner, a 31-year-old Phoenix Mercury basketball star, has not been since she was arrested in Russia after Russia's officially allegedly found vape cartridges in her luggage and accused her of attempting to smuggle drugs in the country. Isn't this like a South Park episode? Like, wasn't Randy Marsh arrested in South Park in China, though? Like, that was different. He was arrested in China. They never closed the gulags. I think they're gulag-ish. Like, they're not 100% gulags. Because they're not in Siberia anymore, and the people there actually get clothing. But this is something funny that I talked with Uni on her stream. Like, when you think about it, American prisons are communistic. Communistic in the sense that you get free food, you get free healthcare, you get free housing. The only thing you lack is liberty, but that's okay. Like, communism never promises liberty, right? So no, like, from the perspective, a U.S. prison is as close as you can get to communism. Meanwhile, the gulag, you know, only the strong survive. You get rewarded if you manage to finish your work quota. The gulags are capitalistic. So in a bizarre way, the capitalism can be found in the gulags and the communism can be found in the U.S. prisons. Isn't that interesting? I wish we could send drug smugglers to work camps too. The problem, okay, so if you don't know the history of Romanian prisons, back in the medieval time, we didn't have jails because we couldn't afford to feed people. Like, food was actually a problem in medieval time. I mean, if you had a jail like you have now, like a modern prison in medieval time, peasants would volunteer to go in. I mean, they get free food, they get free healthcare, they get free clothing, you know? So the punishment was either corporeal, like you would get lashes, you would get your nose cut, ear cut, you know, very gruesome shit. Or it was to be sent to the salt mines. So what were the salt mines? Where it was a hole in the ground, which you would go, and the guards would pull the ladder up. And once in that hole, you meet the other inmates, which are there for life. Like, they don't come out, ever. And what they need to do is to mine the salt, and in exchange, they get food once a week. So once a week, the ladder goes back down, the inmates bring up the salt, the dead bodies from people who passed away, and that was it. Like, the guards weren't inside the prison. They don't care who works and does what as long as the salt comes out. And, I mean, that was the punishment in medieval time. That's what they did to prisoners, you know? It's So, whenever I hear the left complaining about jails today, I'm thinking, like, you just don't you don't appreciate just how far we have come. I heard that some people actually managed to become successful in the gulags, and as a result were taken to a different gulag where they once again had nothing. So the gulags were operated like Discord servers in the way that they required less guards to be more efficient, because guards cost money, right? So what they would do is, like, they would nominate a prisoner, and that prisoner would be like the Discord mod, if you will, and he had a lot more than the other prisoners. And he would enforce the rule there. Like, he would get other prisoners to work, and he would, it's kind of like they would get the double role of being a victim and an abuser. And usually these roles were given to people that were the most brutal and they committed bad, like actual crimes. So what I mean by actual crimes is not ideological dissent, but they committed, burglary, murder, rape, that type of thing. So those were the ones elevated because they were the most brutal. And yeah, they were kind of like the guards were like the Discord admins, if you will, or like the Reddit admins, and the capos were like the guard, the moderators and the Discord mods. I bet those mines are salty. That is so true. You click for the kitten? Oh, I'll keep you here for the charisma that I'm going to display. Mexican prisons are like that. Yeah, I heard that the system is actually maintained in some countries. For example, if you watch Prison Break Season 3, obviously it's fiction, but like the way the prison is run, that is true for some countries. So the guards stay out, and inside you have the inmates, and it's absolute chaos. But like you get to hear things from Mexican prisons, like you get like a prison don, like a don or a chapo or whatever, and he's in there, and he's got guns. He's getting visits from prostitutes and stuff, and he gets to do whatever he wants. He has a television, like he has all the good conditions. But that blew my mind when I heard about it. But yeah. YouTube Filth has Pipkin. Oh, I don't think that's curable. Unless you find someone else with Pipkin and you talk for like 6 hours instead of playing video games, and then you have this heart-to-heart moment, and it's almost like a therapy session. Unironically, that's literally what therapy is like. Like, the therapist is supposed to acknowledge your problems, and they're supposed to help you out. So what I mean by this, if you tell like a random person that you don't brush your teeth, they're going to laugh, mock you, ridicule you. Like, it's not really helpful. And if you tell another person, it's like, look, I started brushing my teeth and I brushed them like 2 times this week. Well, most people, like, they're going to mock you. It's like, oh, so why do you think that's an accomplishment? But like, if you find someone that actually connects with you and has the same issues, or, a therapist, like, they will acknowledge what you did, and they will say, well, brushing your teeth 2 times a week, that's really good because you came out far. Like, what they're trying to do is to make sure that you're better today than you have been yesterday, so that you improved yourself. Like, even if what you're doing is still subpar, like you're still not where other people are supposed to be, the fact that you're being better than you used to be yesterday, that's an accomplishment, and that's a good thing. And when you tell someone something like this, it motivates them, right? So again, you need to be better than yesterday. So if you brushed your teeth 2 times this week, well, next week you have to do it 3 times, right? Like, if you still, or at least 2 times, right? But if you start doing it once or not at all, well, that's a problem, right? Like, you're not putting the effort. Then you get shamed. So yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. Like, most people will have a problem, right? Like, most people will have an issue that other people don't deal with. So, for example, for me, it's very difficult to look other people in the eye in real life. I just can't fucking do it. It's so fucking weird. If I try to make eye contact, I don't know, like, if either I make it too long and it's being creepy, or I don't make it at all and it makes me look weak, right? So, for me, making eye contact is a big issue. However, let's say that I meet a person that doesn't brush their teeth, right? But they can make eye contact just fine. Like, the instinct that most people have is to mock the other person. Like, oh, you don't brush your teeth. Ah, ha, 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 ha. And the thing is, like, yeah, but like, the other person could also mock you for not looking the other person in the eye, So what I'm trying to say with this is that everyone has problems, and everyone is quick to judge and mock other people for their problems. But they would probably not be they probably wouldn't appreciate if someone mocked and judged them for the stuff that they do. So it's not very productive to like mock and judge people like that. Like, at least, I mean, it depends, right? It depends. Like, if you don't care about the other person, You generally don't give a shit. Yeah, sure, mock and laugh away. But if it's a person you actually care about, you want to help, you're not going to help them by mocking. You know, like, you need to try to understand that they're going through something difficult, that's difficult for them. And if you want to help them out, it's important to know if they want to be helped. Because, like, you can't help someone that doesn't want to help themselves. And secondly, if they do want to be helped, you need to appreciate when they're trying to make an effort, and you need to appreciate if they're actually burying themselves that they were yesterday. Like, don't hold them to the standard of everyone else. Hold them to the standard that they used to be the day before. So yeah, eye contact is racist and misogynistic. It is very difficult, honestly, for me. I find it weird. I don't even make eye contact with my wife that much. Well, it's kind of fine because she doesn't make either, so I guess that's why. But it's weird. I don't know why. I think I could work on it if I wanted to, but like I never felt the need. I don't understand why I should. But it's something that creeps me out. Like when I look at someone in the eye, it just makes me have weird vibes. I guess I could go to the zoo and look at the animals in the eye until they look away. That's something I could do. Or do it with my cat, you know, make my cat feel uncomfortable. Do you know cats actually do feel uncomfortable if you look them in the eye? Violent eye contact, yes. I think you can actually piss someone off if you do that. Like if you actually look someone in the eye and you do it long enough, like eventually they might get angry. Anyway, what a happy marriage. Dude, she's got a big chest. I can find other things to look at. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, happy marriage is looking your wife in the eye. Like, I know a lot of marriages where the spouses are yelling at each other and they look at each other in the eye. I don't think, like, looking in the eye is the necessary path to happiness. But there you go, you know, like, people are going to mock you. That's why you shouldn't share your personal problems on the internet. It's like, I like chat. I am the best eye-level master there is. Like, I can look people in the eye, you know, in fact, wait, who said that? Who's the smart ass that said? Let me see. Who said that it's a happy marriage? Look, Avram. Avram says that's fucked up. I can look Avram in the eye. No problem. I can just give him the glare. Look at it, the tits. How does the other person know you are looking them in the eye if they are not also looking at you in the eye? I mean, obviously you do look at the person's eyes, but you do it fugitively, like you're trying to sneak peek, like cheating at the exam. Well, of course you don't have an issue looking at people in the eye. This is why I told that I have an issue. Like, most people don't have this issue. Like, most people are fine. Are fine looking others in the eye. Like, it's normal. Right? But I know that this is an issue for me. Like, it's not normal for me. I should be able to do this, but I can't. Look, recently I'm even stuttering. I didn't always stutter, but for some fucking reason, because of this fucking pandemic and this government that wanted to keep me safe, I stood 2 years in my fucking house. I stopped communicating with people, so now I stutter. Horrible. I do want to go out though. Like, it's been 2 years. Everything was closed. My friends also didn't get out of the house much, so I didn't communicate with other people, and now I'm stuttering. Like, watch my previous videos. Watch my videos from 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't stutter. And now I stutter. At least I don't have a lisp. Poll for what? Like, asking people if they can look others in the eye? Maybe I should. Let me start the poll. Let's start the poll here. Give me a second. I'll poll you right now. I'll poll you so hard like no YouTuber has polled you before. I'm polling you. How the fuck do I poll people? Alright. I'll poll you. Are you ready for the polling? Here comes the polling. Here we go. Ask the chat a question. Are you comfortable looking into the eyes of another person. Ask the chat. I don't seem to stutter in English. I do stutter in English. Like, so many times I misspeak. Look, like right now, see? So many times I misspeak. Like, I know it's correctly to say so many times I misspoke. But for some fucking reason, my brain doesn't work. Tomasz Kariński, thank you for the 10 Polish. It's cheaper to send this than to send them freedom. Ooh, that is so deep. That is so deep. Oh my god. Dude. Like, are you telling me that I don't have a problem? Are you telling me that it's normal? Because, like, if 50% of the people also have this problem, then it's not really a problem, you know? Like, that's the cool thing. Like, if you have a problem that half the other population is having it, then is it really a problem? Like, is it really bizarre? I mean, yeah, it's a problem, but you shouldn't be ashamed of it if half the other people are having it. There we go. You know, I take it back. I don't feel bad now. Like, thank you, chat. See, this is therapeutic. It's catharsis. I thought that I was different, but apparently I'm different just like you. Grammatical errors are not stutter. I do both, though. No, but it's like, I say something, I realize it's a grammatical error, so I stop mid-sentence, and then I restart the sentence, so it sounds like stuttering, if that makes any sense. You need at least 1,000 to the... Oh, fuck off. Get me 1,000 viewers, and then we'll talk. Probably not in this stream. So anyway, right, let's go back to the USA... The USA basketball player. You're talking about 5 years, no jail time, but a labor camp, he said. So, Russian law expert Peter Moggs at the University of Illinois in Chicago predicted that her pending legal case could result in a 5 to 10 year prison sentence, which could also include time spent at a labor camp or a complete dismissal and exportation from the country. I love how... Dude, like, fuck off. Look how the press is writing this. Okay, look how the press is writing this. So, Brittney Griner, like, why is this a thing? All right, let's talk about it from the start. So, you got this U.S. athlete who brings vaping into Russia. Now, I assume that it has to do with also the current political climate, right? Because, like, 5 years ago, it should have just been released. But now, because of the current political climate, they're going to try and make an example out of her. I mean, they might, okay? I'm not even saying they will. They might try to make an example out of her. So they will say, okay, well, she was smuggling drugs into the country. But she can either be deported or spend 5 years in a Russian labor camp. But, like, this is the extreme. This is like, you know, when you have someone that does something and the punishment can be like 45 years or 20. I mean, he can get 20 and then get off in 10 on good behavior. But, like, what I'm saying is, like, look how sensational the title is, right? And even they say, it's like, oh, she could either go to a labor camp or she could be kicked out of Russia. You know, like, I'm pretty sure she might be kicked out of Russia. Because, like, here's the thing. You can actually, like, if you're in charge and you just want to piss off the Americans, you can be like, okay, you know what? We're going to take this basketball player and we're going to lock her up and put her in a labor camp. And do you know what America can do in response? Get some Russian athletes and put them in prison. Okay, who wins? What did you accomplish? It's like literally zero. Like nothing changes. So, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, China did this. Like they did literally the same thing. So Canada found that this Chinese chica was spying for the Chinese, and they arrested her. So what the Chinese did, they arrested 2 Canadian citizens and put them in bad conditions. And it was heavily implied that their release has to do with, like, releasing the Red Queen or whatever the fuck she was called. Thank you, Cancer Watcher. Hello, my favorite vampire. I'm not a vampire, though. I wish I was. I mean, you get to be immortal? That's an interesting question. Would you contact vampirism if it was a thing? I guess it depends if it makes your blood cold, you know? Because if you have a cold dick, no woman would want you. Like, who would want to put a cold dick in a hot vagina? I mean, from your perspective, though, the sex would be wonderful. Because, like, again, it's subjective, whether it's cold or warm. Like, if you're warm, you're going to feel that everything around you is cold. And if you're cold, everything around you is hot. So, like, from your perspective, the sex is going to be amazing. Like, you're going to get into a very hot vagina. But, like, if you're a vampire, like, no woman would want to touch it. It's like, I know that Twilight is a thing, and 50 Shades of Grey is not with vampires, it's with millionaires. Twilight, and which one else? Journals of a Vampire, Vampire Diaries, yeah. Like, women like that shit, but they probably don't consider that the skin is cold, right? I'm immortal, why do I care about sex? Well, what does one have to do with another? Just because you don't die doesn't mean you don't want to have sex. I mean, sex is fun, you know? Like, people don't do it just for reproductive purposes. But even then, like, you can just reproduce. I mean, surely you'll want to have offsprings. I don't live in Transylvania, actually. Transylvania is a very nice place. Conventional vampirism, I like anime vampirism, sounds more appealing. Anime vampirism. Wasn't that chica from Hellsing, the cop lady with big boobs, a vampire? I mean, she's pretty alluring. Falk vampires literally need consent to enter your house. That is so weird. But even then, like, it's probably not that difficult to get consent to enter a person's house. Like, you probably wouldn't want to break in anyway. Like all you have to do is you knock at the door and you go like, "May I come in to talk for a few moments?" It's not very difficult to get consent to enter a person's house. I suppose, like, those vampires are kind of fucked nowadays. So, like, if you need consent to enter someone's house, then that means that if people know there's a vampire, like, during the nighttime, they will just stay indoors. And then there's nothing you can do about it, right? And during the daytime, they can just walk freely. So, yeah, the vampires are kind of fucked. I guess, like, if it's a medieval town, like, they need to go out in the pivot to take a shit. But, like, if you know that there's vampires about, like, you can just have the bucket inside. And, you know, c'est la vie. Like, you try to move your bowels before dusk. But, hey, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So you just go inside and you have a bucket. Yeah, you can actually be the delivery guy. You can be the delivery guy and you can be like, "Hey, I got your pizza." People don't let the delivery guy in. Well, it depends. Like, if the guy wants in, like, "Hey, can I use your bathroom? Like, I really need to. I know this is weird. Can I please use your bathroom?" But, like, yeah, I never let the delivery guy in. Like, why the fuck would you want to let the delivery guy in? But again, like, they could ask, you know, like, "Can I use your phone? Can I use your bathroom? Blah, blah, blah." You said yes, and you're fucked. The succubus is what people want vampires to be. Yeah, like, is the Chad succubus versus the virgin vampire? I don't understand, like, what is the attraction to vampires when you have Ushikushi, Suberashi. You have Suberashi succubi. Hold on, let me see if my new friend knows what succubi are. YouTube Filth, do you know what succubi are? Have you met a succubi? What do you get? What do you think, chat? Does he know what succubi are? Let's see. Let's see if he actually has the lore. If he has the knowledge. What if the vampires go spearfishing? Didn't they actually have that in a movie? I think it was The Headless Horseman, the last movie they did. Like, he actually used a pike, threw it through a house, and then pulled the guy out. Of course you do, and you have not met one? Oh, I have met a lot. They're succubi. They suck you by, you know? Like, they suck you by. It's called, an eye candy. Like, they want you as long as you buy them gifts. So you have to constantly produce more material goods. And then they reward you with their companionship. So that's a succubus. Or actually, no, a succubi. My jokes aren't what they used to. Never mind. It was the lag with the chat. There you go. There you go. My jokes are still working. Hello, Matthew. How's it going? You're trying to become a wizard? Oh, is this why you like Uni? Because she's an owl? And you want a familiar? You want Uni to bring you the letters from Hogwarts? Never gonna happen. She doesn't watch Harry Potter. VTubers are succubi. Yes, they are. All of them. They have a weird power as well. Like, I was watching Pippa yesterday, and she was like, oh, like, don't you have Simps? Because my Simps this, and Simps that, and Simps this. It's like, I'm thinking like, dude, if I were to talk to my chat the way you talk to yours, I would never get a super chat. But then again, I guess I don't get super chats that often anymore, so maybe the chat is into that kinky shit. Who knows? But to be honest, you know, like, I'll tell you why I like Pippa compared to other VTubers and other ladies that show face. At least, like, Pippa doesn't want to... she doesn't want you to view her as a sexual object. Like, every time someone sent her that type of super chat, she immediately shut it down. And, like, she doesn't flirt with the chat. She doesn't try to do any of that nonsense. So the people donating to her, I assume they donate because they legitimately like her charisma. And she does good comedy, like, let's be honest. So it's a lot more fair. I definitely appreciate that. It's very rare to find female entertainers that don't try to use their feminine assets in order to get people to donate to them. What do I mean, Matthew? Well, I mean that it seems that some chats enjoy being called simps. Do you know there was a guy which donated $10,000, I think, to Alinity? It's kind of it's kind of difficult to wrap your head around, but like, yes, he donated $10,000 to Alinity so she can call him a beta simp, I believe it was. And I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Now, granted, the guy did have a good reason for it. He said that he wants to lose weight and he wanted to feel like the money he gave and, you know, Alinity shaming him, like doing that video where she shames him, is going to motivate him to lose weight. And I'm like, okay, I guess. Yeah, don't objectify me, baka. Thank you for being a member, Sketch Therapy. Thank you for the $5 and TMV. I have taken a break from work to purchase my buyer's remorse and ask you to never show the dear girl again. I can't promise that. The dear girl in my mind is one and the same with Twitch. Like, she transcended. In fact, like, the dear girl doesn't even represent Twitch. It represents American corporatism. It's like the modern day America. Yeah, I did put in some emojis. When I put more when someone makes me more. Now that I have a server. And by the way, I thought about the name of the server. Maybe I should put it up to a vote. So I called it the Bigotry Corner. A lot of people suggested like really dumb name, like VTards and stuff like that. I don't think you guys want to be called the VTards. But like calling you bigots works. So if you guys have any other names that you would like the Discord server to have, please let me know. With the money, he could have bought a whole gym worth of sports equipment. It depends like how much money do people have, right? Like if you're making $10,000 a month, giving $10,000 to someone else feels like a lot, but it's not the end of the world. So if you live in California, yeah, maybe you're making 20 grand and 10 grand you're spending on taxes and utilities and rent. That giving like 10,000 extra isn't that big, right? Because you got to think where people live and how much they're making. And there's a lot of people in the United States, especially in California, Bay Area, they're making 20 grand. So yeah, giving 10 grand to a Twitch streamer, yeah, I mean, it's extreme, but like, for them, it's not that much. I'm not giving anything that has to do with gypsy. I literally am not a gypsy. Like, it's as insulting as calling an American the N-word, I guess. Not to that level. Okay, I know how to explain it. It's like calling a Swedish person a Muslim, right? Because there's Muslim in Sweden. And you're using it in a pejorative way. That's what it is when you call a Romanian a gypsy. Now, I don't get offended by it, but I'm not going to call my server anything gypsy related. What if they gave me 10 grand? 10 grand to call... Oh, for 10 grand, I'll call my server anything as long as it's according to the... No, actually, for 10 grand, fuck it. I'll call my server anything. And if it gets banned, I will just put it up again. Yeah, it's not like the N-bomb, but like you might get... Like, no, seriously, if you have a Romanian... And I'm telling you this in case you will ever encounter a Romanian, right? If he's a working class lad and you call him a gypsy, he's throwing hands. Like, it's perceived as an insult. Because the people using it, they don't use it as an endearing way. They usually use it as a pejorative way. So if you actually do that, like, yeah, he's going to throw hands. He's going to get angry. Again, it's kind of like meeting a Swedish person and calling him like a Muslim. But you know he's not a Muslim. You're just doing it in order to piss him off, and you're doing it in a pejorative way. As a Swede, I'm okay with that. I have accepted the fall of Sweden. Yeah, but there are probably Swedish people who don't accept that. I'm a Swedish, so I don't ever can be a Muslim. Like, why not? You can literally convert. Like, Abdi Muhammad can hook you up. He can take you to an imam and you can convert. But I haven't seen any good names to put up on a poll. Like, so far all the names are meh. It has to be something that I also like. Yeah, I guess it's not like the N-word, because the N-word at least gets to be used in rap lyrics and stuff. But like, no, like Romanians, like calling someone else a gypsy is a huge insult here. Like again, they would throw hands. And it's not because like there's something bad with being a gypsy. It's just that it's used in a pejorative way, right? It's always used in a negative way. Like you're basically what they're implying is that the person is a thief, untrustworthy. You know, it's like, eh. The V-Man. Oh my god. Do you want to be called the V-Man? Like, you have to think about the targeted demographic. Oh, the vegans. It doesn't have to be a play on the word V. I mean, the bigotry corner, you know, it's kind of funny. Like, I find it hilarious, but it's like nothing to do with V or veganism or... I don't want to play on the word V. The lizards people. The spire of bigotrismus. See, the spire of bigotrismus is something that I'm going to use. Alright, so we got the spire of bigotrismus, the bigotry corner. Hold on, let me put these up. So we got name of the server. We got the spire of bigotrismus. We got the bigotry corner. The bigotry. Romanian Bigot Society. Hold on. Okay, Romanian Bigot Society. Do you want to be called a VTard though? Like this is what I don't understand. Like the people who go VTards. Like, do you want to be in a server where other people refer to you as a VTard? Is this something that gets you off? Bigotrismus, yes. Yeah, of course VTard is cringe. I can't use the fascist square or anything like that because Discord TOS. The Twiddler youth. Again, it's really funny, but like if I put the Twiddler youth, I'm going to end up like Uni with the Uni bomber, and then I'll be like, oh shit, I can't actually name this because then I'll going to get in trouble with Discord. Because I don't want to, you know, like create a channel and then have everyone lose their accounts because Discord takes down the server. Fun fact, if you had $1 for every time a woman found you unattractive, you would eventually become attractive. That I can't refute that. Yeah, the Twiddler youth is actually really good. The long gazebo. The bite of my blade? Really? Now, if I put the Twiddler youth, I know for sure that it's winning. Like, I can put as much money as you want that the Twiddler youth is going to get the most amount of votes. The problem is, if I make a server called the Twiddler youth, it's going to be taken down by Discord. I don't even need to picture that. Like, I know that it's going to happen. And I'll probably get another email from Germany as well. I'll talk about the email in a bit. You know what? I'm going to ask my community in the meantime. I can't name it the pussy server either, man. Alright. So let me show you something. I put the link from a skit that Pippa did. It's got 76 likes and 6 retweets, right? So this is Pippa. Let me actually, you know what? I think I can play it. I don't think it's bad. Like hopefully you guys can hear it.
While in another country, books take on a different meaning. A ranting, hostile Joseph Goebbels foundation for the blind she is helping to form. And Mrs. Coolidge, a teacher of the deaf before her marriage, is anxious to lend her name to any effort that will assist deaf or blind persons. When she was only 12, Susan, don't kill me! And raised $2,000.
Right, so it's funny, right? Like it's a joke. It's hilarious. Apparently, you know, Goebbels scared her a little bit more than she should. I mean, it's a historical. Sorry, it's not a historic. It's a documentary, right? Like it's not hate speech. It's not anything like that. It's just like a documentary, and it's not even about Goebbels. it's about this woman which is blind and is deaf, Helen Keller, right? So I put that, and I wake up with this shit. This is what I wake up with. Hello, Twitter is required by German law to provide notice to users who are reported by people from Germany via the Network Enforcement Act. Like, some German out there, some Deutsche Junge, the Twitter youth, was offended by that shit. They didn't appreciate Pippa. We have received a complaint regarding your account for the following content. It's all fun and games until the German starts. We have investigated the reported content and have found that it is not subjected to removal under the Twitter rules nor the German law. Why, thank you, Twitter. I appreciate it. Fucking hell. Who the fuck reported me? What is their problem? Yeah, Sockenpuppe. No, I think Sockenpuppe is probably Swedish. Which one of you did it? I'm pretty sure it's one of you, isn't it? Do you know who rules Twitter youth? It's Hitler. This is such a good joke, Zenith. I'm just... What the fuck? Okay, the Spire of Bigotrismo seems to be the winner. No, see, I don't mind Twitter doing this. Because you gotta understand, like, Twitter started this with Pakistan. Like, they would let you know that you have blasphemed. I'm not kidding. So this was like 3 years ago. Like, they would let people know, it's like, hey, you blasphemed. According to Pakistan, you're kind of fucked. Now, a lot of people were upset because they were like, oh, well, it's like, why is Twitter enforcing the rules of Pakistan? And I'm thinking, no, you moron. Like, imagine that for some goddamn reason, a person who blasphemed would decide to make a visit in Pakistan, right? He wants to make his holidays there. I don't know if they got some beautiful resorts, but like maybe he does. And he goes at the Pakistani border and then he's arrested. And he's sent to prison because blaspheming in a religious theocracy is not a good idea. So you can get arrested, you can get in prison. So what Twitter does is it lets you know, it's like, hey, you violated the laws of this country. Now, it's the same with Germany, right? Like if you violate a law in Germany, I don't know how it works, but I assume you're placed on some sort of list. And when you go to the airport and you show them your ID, it's like ding, 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 ding. And then they arrest you and then you're sad. Then you're very sad. You're not happy. The quartering uses Gilded instead of Discord. Look, I understand the benefit of alternatives. Like, number one, I don't know anyone that can set a Gilded server up. I'm not into technology. I don't know how to do it. But secondly, like, people want to use what's popular. So if I were to go to Gilded, I would probably get like 50% less people. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to make it work, though, with Discord. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's a Discord alternative. Why must the Germans have lists? It's in their blood. It's like the holy paper. Like they need lists. They need licenses. They need certification. Name your Discord transgender people of color. If it's bad, you can get someone to report. Yeah, but I don't want to be a transgender person of color. See, I understand what you're saying. But I don't think it works that way. Let me see on my list of reasons why we have lists. That's such a good comeback. I can see Gilded server up, but yes, a lot of people don't like the second best. I actually blasphemed in Somaliland just because they had an anti-blaspheme. Dude, that's an interesting thing, you know? Like normally, I don't feel like blaspheming. But if they were to ban blaspheming, you'd probably want to do it just because it's banned. And I think like this is part of the human essence. Like the people who wrote the Bible really understood that. It's like there's this garden where you can eat from every tree except this one. And literally that's the tree they want to eat from. And it's true, you know, like in Iran, for example, people aren't allowed to dance. Like dancing is haram. And they have these underground dance clubs that, like, normally, there are people like myself who never want to dance. Like, I'm not a dancer. I don't like dancing. But, if it was made illegal, then you feel like wanting to do it for some reason. V por wave. I don't want plays on the word V. It's cringe. Anyway, right. Thank you guys for being here. It has been decided it's going to be called the Spire of Bigotrismus. And thank you for the super chats.